Hey guys, Jenna here. Welcome to my channel where I take you on tours of unique homes and showcase people living alternatively. In this week's video, we're traveling to North Carolina to take a tour of one of the nicest tiny home villages in the country. And that also might mean it's one of the nicest in the world. We'll hear about the vision for this community from the owners, take a look at the amenities, and step inside a few of the tiny homes they have on the property. I've featured several tiny house communities and villages on this channel, and if you're interested in seeing more videos like this one, make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell so that you get a notification every time I post a new video. All right, let's jump right in and take a tour of this beautiful tiny house community.
Will you join me? Will you roll? Make this house our tiny home.
Oh, hey everybody, welcome to Acony Bell. My name's John and we're just gonna kind of give you a little tour of the place. So come on in.
2016, we were looking for a project. I was maybe thinking RV park, something like that. John was in real estate. He kept kind of throwing out the idea of a tiny home village.
We thought that there was a future in it, especially now with the need for affordable housing.
This is, we feel, a better option for a lot of people who just want to have kind of their own space and still be able to live within a reasonable means. Found a great piece of property. This was some old tomato fields and pepper fields when we got here. And one of the keys to our success was initially, very early on, hiring Paul to come in here and help us out. And Paul remembers very early days when we were just getting some of the initial units in here and trying to get the place pretty. There's been a lot of hard work and love and care gone into the place to get it looking good. The state of North Carolina would tell you that park model units and tiny homes and certainly RVs are not meant for permanent residence. They're not dwellings, it's not real estate, they're just personal property.
Yeah, people ask us all the time, we got emails on what did y'all do? We got lucky.
We are in a specific jurisdiction of the town and it was relatively newly incorporated, and so their development ordinances weren't terribly restrictive.
We started with phase one, and that was 22 units, of which 8 were going to be vacation homes. That was in 2018, we opened up that one. 2020, about January, we opened up phase 2, and that was 54 units. And now in 2021 to 22, we were going to do 18 more units. We were lucky because we had so many different people that were in the tiny home world that were excited that we were coming out of the ground with a tiny home park versus an RV park or something that's being redone as one. So we had lots of people from the tiny home community tell us what to do and what not to do, and we listened. And I think that has just been one of the greatest parts of what Acony Bell is listening to what people want and create a wonderful, loving place where they can live. Lot rents average about $550 a month. You get water and you get septic service.
They pay their own electrical bill, Wi-Fi, cable, whatever. They have their own account and they pay for that.
We've got this beautiful community center.
For me, it's a fun place to work. The people, though, are just unique. Everybody is just kind of cool.
We've got young couples that are just getting married and would rather not purchase a home and rather save money through a tiny home. We've got many middle-aged people that wanted kind of a change of lifestyle. And then we, of course, have some retirees that wanted to come here. Part of community is having these different groups and the diversity. So one of the things we really wanted to do was to create sense of community. And I think some of the things that we have that makes us a little bit different is, we have a community garden. We've got the raspberry trestles and the raspberry plants. We have the chickens, which have been incredibly popular. And of course, mail, garbage and recycling. And another thing that we're really into is edible landscapes. So we have over 200 blueberry plants planted here. And you can see right here at the end of every road, there's a place to go ahead and pick one in season. People ask us if we have a dog park. We do. We have 5 open acres. That's the off-leash area for the dogs. This is our Airbnb section. There are 9 homes in this section. These are vacation homes that we manage when the owners aren't up here. We do have the fire pit in here, which is awesome. We have a total of 4 fire pits. They're reconstructions of 19th century sugar cauldrons from South Carolina. So back in the day, you'd make sugar, you'd take the slurry, you'd cook it out and scrape out the sugar in it. And they've just turned out to be incredible fire pits. We always keep them stocked and people have fires on a regular basis. So we're here by Bolson Creek. This creek runs through the center of Acony Bell. A lot of our residents use it for swimming. Some of them actually put inner tubes in and float down on a nice hot day. We did stock it with trout with intent to maybe have some fly fishing here, but unfortunately the otters showed up 2 weeks later. So we traded our fish for otters. You know, one thing to talk about is the wildlife that we do have here, being in Western North Carolina. You know, we have otters in the creek, we have muskrats, we have trout. We have a very healthy deer population. We get an occasional bear coming through. And not to mention the turkeys that strut through the middle of the village in the springtime. It says one of our vacation rentals here. Come on in and we'll show you around. So one of the reasons we wanted to do Airbnb vacation home rentals is we were not sure at the point when we opened up that the demand would be that high for it. So one of the reasons we have them is to promote tiny house living. You don't know until you buy it. We don't sell any homes, we don't own any homes, but it's a good opportunity to learn about, you know, whether tiny living is for you or not. This one is really particular. I love it. It's 28 feet long. It's got dual lofts. One of the nice things about it, it has dual entrance and exits. So it kind of gives a nice airflow and it gives kind of a sense of feng shui to the home. This is phase 2. We finished construction in January 2020, right before the pandemic. We were fully filled by September of 2020. Not only is Acony Bell, you know, a community for people, it's a community of animals. Dogs are so welcome here and absolutely love it here. And that's Tim, a resident photographer, and that's Lisa, the hound dog. I'd say almost every resident has a dog. We absolutely love them. They kind of run the village. One of the things we really do allow and we appreciate are people building their own exterior spaces. Decks, hot tubs, plantings, people just kind of make it their own spot. So we're located in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Western North Carolina. We're about 22 miles from downtown Nashville. Across here we have the Pisgah Forest, 50,000 plus acres to play and enjoy in, and we have quite a mountain bike community that's growing up around here. So when we opened the place up, we decided that we were not going to sell tiny homes. We like to support the industry and support your local builders. And this beautiful home is from our friends at Mint. Next we have an incredible home from the guys up at Liberation Tiny Homes. And then not to forget, back here, Perch and Nest, one of our local North Carolina builders. So Diane's home is, you know, beautiful, custom built. It's absolutely gorgeous. She climbs in the loft every night and comes out and wanders the property. So we have 2 to 3 miles of hiking trails around here. This one goes through the bottomland. We see Diane's cute little trail sign she's made, and Diane's made, I would say, close to about 2 to 3 miles of trails around here. Beautiful, cutting through the woods, and just goes around the perimeter of the entire village. We gave Diane a machete for Christmas.
So this is our community center that was originally an old stone house that I believe goes back to about the 1930s. And it was in really, really bad shape. It was kind of scary to even walk in. We stayed the course and renovated the place. I think all this woodwork in here is original, fireplace and all those things are original. And we felt like it was an important component of the tiny home community just because, you know, obviously people were in tiny homes and they needed a place to gather, particularly during the winter time. And so it was a great place for people to have meals together, get together, watch a football game, something like that. And turns out that's been great because it has been used a lot for that. I know they have potluck dinners and poker night and a lot of things like that here. We've also got washer and dryer in there for people to wash things. We've got a deck out back. We've had some cookouts on, and I think the people that live here really enjoy and get a lot of good use out of it.
Thanks for watching this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you soon with another tiny house or alternative lifestyle video.